Yo, what's good, everybody? How you guys doing today? So, I got a little reaction video I'm finna do, and I'm gonna kind of lay off of these topics a little bit. I'm gonna still do it because people love it, but I'm gonna be honest, man. I feel like a lot of it's a little depressing, and it's just puts you in a being realistic about things sometimes. There's a lot of ignorance and bliss. Everyone likes to be happy. So talking about this shit, you know, we'll just get into it one more good time, one time for the one time. So I got introduced to this guy's channel, Mediocre Tutorial Reviews, and there's this topic the his content is good. He's a good YouTuber. He's a great YouTuber, actually. He's got what he has. I personally just do not necessarily like the style. I think that a lot of people have jumped on this red pill bandwagon thing. Another one of my favorite YouTubers is Austin Dunham. And I used to watch him for his workout stuff, his calisthenics and things like that. And he jumped on the bandwagon. I saw him hanging out with FedEx Fearless and Steph is Cold. And, it's it seems like what people in my generation are definitely jumping into, especially if they already have an existing platform. But let's go ahead and jump into this. So the topic of the video is, let's go ahead and look at it real quick, you guys. I'm gonna make a little reaction to it. Don't you worry, we're gonna get into it. I said men should never want a woman with a high body count. So it's about women with high body counts, you guys. Yes, but I'm gonna keep this neutral, right? This is a men's channel, so I'm definitely gonna speak for the men, and I'm gonna talk about what men should definitely look for, but I'm also gonna try to put a little bit of context for the women too. It's not all bad, right? What people dislike is rules. People don't like to have rules. Let's get into it.
What up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. Back in here with one more video. Joined today by a very special new guest. Evelyn.
Love to be here. Happy to be here. That was a lot. I'm glad you guys appreciate.
I can't get over the music. That's from Minority Mindset. That's where I first heard it.
It's media telling them to do these certain things, and it's really men perpetuating these things.
Women would lie no matter what.
What I'm not gonna let you do, I cannot sit here and let you make that statement.
Why?
So here's the truth, you guys. Women will lie about it, but here's the truth. Here's an even better truth. People are honest about things that they're proud of. Hardly would you ever lie about something that you're proud of, right? You usually lie to cover up something that is just unfavorable, or is not going to be taken the right way to the person that you're giving it to, the audience. You're gonna kind of do a little lie. People fluff up their stories all the time, you guys. Like, this stuff happens. And when it comes to the body count, I know women who are proud of their body count, right? And I know women who definitely shave a couple 10, 20 bodies off their actual body count. Now, there's a way that a woman moves. A woman moves just differently when she just has like less than 5 bodies. Let's just say that, less than 5. There's a certain aura that a woman has when she has less than 10 bodies. But you also got to consider how often that this person had sex with the person that they were sexually intimate with, you guys. That also really plays a factor in it. This is how the imprint happens. And it's real. Men and women have this imprint. Their first boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, that they really loved, quote unquote love, because we have a really personal idea of what love is. Everyone has a different meaning, whatever. That imprint is strong, man. That trauma that they've experienced with that boyfriend or that girlfriend carries on to the next relationship, unfortunately, because a lot of people just don't take the time to really heal and like take the time to really understand themselves and understand where they're trying to go with things. We just really kind of move with our intuition. There's nothing wrong with that, you guys. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. But do women lie about their body count? Yes, they do. But what type of women lie about their body count? Women that aren't proud of it, or they know that their true honest answer is not going to be taken well about it. Do all women lie about their body count? No. People lie when it's something that's going to be unfavorable to the audience that they don't want to happen, right? Let's get into it.
Why not?
You lie about women lying no
Listen.
matter what.
People lie. Men and women lie.
Okay, I agree.
However, women are way more covert in their communication.
It's the covert for
No,
me.
they are. No, they are.
It's a mission for me. You're right.
Am I tripping though? Did I just make that up?
We are better.
Oh, so you're going to turn the word covert to better.
No, I agree with covert. I'm laughing at it because now I'm thinking about like being on a mission.
I like some Splinter Cell shit.
Right.
Some Metal Gear Solid shit.
Yeah, but no, I just feel like we are better at it.
You're more covert.
So I do kind of agree and disagree with Mediocre Tutorial because they're not necessarily covert. Women are better at talking and the word game. That's why it takes a lot. Like it's you can get a woman with her mind. You got to get a woman with her mind. A lot of women claim to be sapiosexuals, but they really just love words and the way that a person can, it's an art to it. The way that you talk, the way that you speak. Some people can, you ever wonder why some people you just resonate with and others don't? It's a lot of the energy, but the words that you use too are also very important. So women, I heard about this in school. A woman said this actually, and I was like, wow. So she said in school people thought girls, like the boys were out playing sports and doing this, they were getting active, and people just thought girls weren't doing anything. And that's not true. Girls were sitting there talking. They were talking with each other in recess. They were talking about life. They were talking about things they were going through. And this happened throughout all of their years of growing up. They just talk. You're improving social dynamics, social skills. You're understanding how people react to certain words. So women know how to tailor reactions and emotions because this is what they've done since birth. Women are supposed to be very social and communal. Men are too. We just spend most of our time trying to get it. Got to get it, right? So I wouldn't necessarily call it covert. It's just that is a byproduct of growing up being more social as a person in general. Women are just more social in general. So a byproduct of being able to be a great communicator is also having the ability to have 100% skill level in covertness talking. So that's why I kind of agree and disagree. It's not covert in the sense that it may not be intentional, but a woman can definitely turn it on intentionally. Absolutely. And more often do they do it than not. That is the issue. And as a woman, if you disagree, speak up. Speak up, not just on a video, but when you're with your friends, when you're out in public, you guys. Women, you are the ones that you like. This is men like me, men like Kevin, men all around, people and girls. We're talking, right? You don't want that image as a woman. You need to make sure you're out there doing the work, man. Stand up for your types of people. Present this shit, man. We need women out here like that, you guys. If you're not like this, if you don't intentionally be covert, speak up, please. And not just, well, not all women do. No. You need to fucking talk to the women. But here's the deal, right? You don't want to confront a woman. You let a woman do what she does. That's the issue. We don't have accountability. Let's go.
Covert. So, okay. So we're saying the same things, but you would disagree with me when I say that women will lie.
You said we'll lie regardless.
Yes.
Now, when lying happens.
But, well, listen. Well, they will lie because a lot of you guys are judged off of a lot of standards within society. So you have to lie in order to... A lot of it's created by women. Women was the first person. A woman.
She disagrees, and this is the modern woman, you guys. She is a modern woman. Our generation, 28 and younger, you guys. This is This is our generation, and the reason why she doesn't like it is because she's been taught and raised that men are the issue. We are. It's the patriarchy that's caused women to have the things that they do. At the end of the day, if it really was men putting the standard on women and women wanted it and they cared about it, they would do it. They would actually do it, right? But we've been telling women all the, like, here's the deal. The top 10 all women pretty much want the same kind of guys, right? The same characteristics of guys. And those guys don't necessarily really care much about, like, some do, but some of those guys, they're just out there, right? They have options. They have lots of girls coming after them, and they're gonna exercise those options. They're gonna have sex with lots of women. And so that when a guy just wants to have sex, he doesn't care about your body count. He doesn't care about it. But when you want to have a relationship, if you actually genuinely want to have a family with a woman, that definitely comes into play. It absolutely does. Does it happen to, does everyone do it? Obviously not, but it's a huge part. A lot of guys may not even talk about it. They may not even be aware of it. But it's like, it's a thing. It's a real thing. And as a woman, you are not able to understand what it does to you to have all those men inside of you. Seriously, it's different. It's really different. For a guy, it's different. We are not judged the same. And not only are we not judged the same, we don't react the same in the same situations. We just don't. So when you try to equate a man having multiple bodies and a woman having multiple bodies, it's different. It is so different. And I'll get into it a little bit later, you guys. We got this video to watch, though.
Would be way more apt to call another woman a hoe than a man would.
Yes and no. Yes and
I don't
no.
have the data.
Oh, so now you don't have the data. Even think from an anecdotal perspective, because I can think of many anecdotal occasions where women would be more quick to call another woman a hoe than another woman.
You know what that is? Internalized misogyny.
But here's the thing. It's not even internalized misogyny. This girl is, oh my God, yo, I don't know how he's dealing with these girls. These are the modern day women that we deal with, you guys, that are our age. And I want to tell you guys, women my age, please, if this is not you, speak up. Please do. Speak up. Speak up. So it's not misogyny. It's not misogyny, right? It's women holding other women accountable. It's women holding other women accountable. Or it's a shaming tactic on other women to help mitigate the competitive field. This has also been discussed in Rollo Tomasi's Irrational Male book. This is a tactic other women use to compete with each other. They compete with each other. They make another woman feel bad so that they can actually go in for the kill for that guy, right? This is what a lot of women do. This is covert. Now this is covert. This is a covert tactic for women. They do use this as a shaming tactic against other women. But once again, women women care about the opinions of other women more than they care about men's opinions. We can sit here all day call a woman a hoe. She'd be like, oh, you just mad, you just sad, you just ain't getting shit. Like, she would brush it off. But if a woman calls her a hoe, that's different. It hurts a little bit more, right? And now you could say, oh, I mean for a guy, the boyfriend or the imprint, that will have an impact on a woman's psyche if you were to call her a hoe. But the majority of the time, the woman calling a woman a hoe has more weight than a man calling a woman a hoe at the end of the day, because women hold women's voices with more weight.
A woman?
Yeah. Like, nobody would call...
Listen.
Women would not call women hoes if men didn't declare a hoe a certain thing.
No, it's also they call them hoes because they don't want...
I can tell she has to be in her 24s or 28s to 27. And this right here, she stopped growing at 16, 18, you guys. She did. You can grow mentally, you can grow physically and shit like that. But like, yo, that type of mindset, it just does, it never transforms. She's going to stay stuck like this. Hopefully not, but yo, this is crazy.
They want that woman to be lower in the hierarchical standing
based
of woman.
on the patriarch or the male gaze.
No, it's not the
based on the male gaze.
Okay, so I have an issue when you say the patriarch.
That's why I took you back.
Okay,
and I said male gaze.
Yes, based on the male gaze, but the male gaze is important. Let's not act like it's not important.
You see the way I can't make this up. Just like Kevin said, you can't make this up. A woman, you see exactly what I just said, you guys. Women hold women's opinions much higher regard than men's. You just saw I'll replay it again for you guys. She scoffed at men's gaze. Oh, that doesn't matter. A man's gaze. It's just as irrelevant as the dust on my shoulder. Let me brush it off. Look at this. Look at this.
I said male gaze.
Yes, that's on the male gaze, but the male gaze is important. Let's not act like...
The male gaze is important? Wow. Man.
Like it's not important for relationships because the man has a choice as well.
I didn't say it wasn't. I'm saying that is based off of males picking and choosing what you guys decide are the standard. That's what I'm saying. Because
we control relationships.
Women who are saying you're a hoe because men are saying this is what I consider a hoe, and women are like, I want to be chose, so I don't want to be a hoe, and I don't want you to be a competitor, so I'm going to shame you for being a hoe because that's less likely to get you chose.
Now she's on point with it, you guys. I do like Mediocre Tutorial Reviews for having the content here. I just wish he was more on like Kevin Samuels. Like, you got to hit the pocket with some of these topics, man. You really have got to hit the pocket on some of these points. There's so many opportunities. I mean, and the people that you bring in, you know, it's really good. Like, it gives a lot of content back and forth, good for the ratings and stuff like that. Just got to hit the pocket more.
But again, men are creating the idea of what a hoe is.
I think I understand your point, but here's the thing: is
you know, here's the deal, and this is why Kevin Samuels is so like amazing to everybody, because one thing is true, that age difference has respect with it. When you have an age gap, there's a certain respectability that everyone just gives to you, and when you're the same age, man and woman just doesn't look at you with that regard. She looks as you guys as equals. So you're easier to quote unquote control, and if control is a lot of the main themes of modern women in today's age, I mean, it makes sense why a woman would want a man her age, you know. But if it was in regards to finances, support, sustainability, stability, you know, wisdom and stuff like that, I mean, would you want someone your age, or would you want someone older? A man older, you know? Like, in my honest opinion, if I were a woman, especially in this day and age, I completely understand being with a man my age. If I were a woman, and if I were 25, 24, whatever, 22, I completely understand being with another man my age, because there's no respect for men older. We don't understand men. Men aren't really in the households these days. And the average everyday modern man doesn't even know what it means to really kind of be like that masculine man without having to go slang dope, sell drugs, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like women don't understand being with men. So a woman being with an older man, she feels threatened. She feels scared. She feels like he knows so much that he's gonna take advantage of her, and she's gonna feel like she's being used. But when it's a guy her age, that threat isn't possible. That threat isn't there. If anything, she has the advantage, because once again, let's go back to the example that I gave about recess. Women spend way more time being social than men do. So women are more mature, quote unquote, mature socially and with the words, and just like controlling shit. Like, it makes more sense. It's a safer bet for a woman. It's a much safer bet for a woman. So I understand being with a man her age, you know. But at the same time, on the flip side, you guys, there's still that essence of you like novelty. You can experience new things with each other. You can relate on another level, and you can relate on like a deep soulful kind of level when you're like the same age. And it's just it's a double-edged sword. How about that?
Number one, you have to respect how men summarize their opinion of head. Okay, so regardless of what that is, and I think like what has entered into this modern topic is that women should and can have as much experiences as a man, right? And it's not considering the biology, it's not considering the evolutionary differences between us, the sexual dimorphism. It's not considering any of those different things. And it's just saying, well, what's the difference between, men and women? And there's far differences in the way that we think about things, in the chemicals that generate in our body. You have an innie, I have an outie, right?
I'm not doing
there's a lot of different differences. So to think that we shouldn't be regarded, you can give birth, I cannot. So to not think that our sexual escapade should be regarded differently, I think is short-sighted.
Now that was very well put. That was very well put. I like what he said. Now, when it does come to the using realism and bioevolutionary topics to support these positions, people would try to discount that. But at the end of the day, you've got to remember, you guys, realism creates real results. You can have a creative mind. You can do that, right? You can imagine something that doesn't exist and create it. That is very important. It's extremely important. But it still has to work within the realms of reality, right? You still have to. One of the reasons why UFOs are so let's look at the example of UFOs. It's a big ass flying saucer that can just stop on a dime. It can go 1,000 miles per hour in the air and then all of a sudden just stop and then change directions and shit. The reason why that's a blasphemy and it's just like, what the hell, is because it completely rejects traditional knowledge of dynamics and the way things move. Right? You've got to think about centripetal force and G-force, right? How can a human survive that shift in speed like that? Going 1,000 miles per hour and then just stopping, like on a dime. No, just stopping on a dime. It doesn't support what we've experienced and what we think, right? However, now follow me. However, something floating above ground, we can make things float. Right? We can look at the maglev trains, right? The magnetic trains that are floating 300, 400, 500 years ago. We thought this is sorcery, you guys. But now we can make shit float using magnetism, working within the confines of reality. When you work within the confines of reality, such as bioevolutionary, you can really make good results, you guys. It's accountability. You don't want things that hold you accountable. This is one of the reasons why religion has been so bastardized too, you guys. We want shit to just mold and form around the lifestyle we want to choose. This is the time period of choosing choices. I choose to be a female today. I choose to be non-binary escapism. I don't fucking know, you know.
Men are entitled to how they perceive information, right? So,
but it's important.
I'm not saying it's unimportant.
Okay.
I'm saying that is what women are basing it off of, not other women. And I'm also saying that it's okay if what men could be deducing women to, or deducing like a whole to, could have exceptions, right? Like, she is a hoe if her body count is this, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. But you can meet a woman, right? Like, for example, you don't know if I'm a quote-unquote hoe or not right now, right?
No, you're married. You're not a hoe. No, I know you're not a hoe.
Okay, you didn't even answer the question. You didn't even answer the damn question, you guys. So here, let me do it for you. Should men accept a woman's high body count? It is subjective. It's his choice. It's his choice, right? Should a man accept a woman's high body count? In my personal opinion, no. I don't think a man should. I don't think a man should. It depends on what he's accepting and what level it is. And this is another thing that, if you talk to a woman about this, there's no distinction about it. Because modern women don't know men. And let me just fill in the blanks for you guys, please. I'm not trying to I really am trying to make some headway with this, because there's a lot of, this is a huge topic, you guys. You can, Kevin does 2-3 hour stream videos about this. There's so much that needs to be filled in with this, and nobody likes to take the time to sit down and really read this shit. I did, and I also have experienced life. So I'm gonna tell you guys this. For men, we can accept you. We accept you in so many different ways. My mother told me that every person has a position in your life to play. Now, when it comes to women, you guys do the same thing. Women have all kinds of men for certain positions, right? And they treat them differently. They treat them accordingly to their position. Men do the same thing. So, if you do have a high body count, I can accept you. I can accept you as a fuck buddy. I can accept you as a booty call. I can accept you as somebody that I can just string along for a little bit until, you know, hey, shit just doesn't work. But as a wife, it's a completely different story. You know? It's a very completely different story. Because as a woman, women can have sex, and you feel me, and if I'm wrong, women can have sex and shit probably not even remember the guy that she had sex with, or just like do it for fun. She can do it. You know, I look at porn like, yeah, girls, they have to do it. I don't think they fall in love with every single guy they have sex with, right? It's just that as a woman experiencing all of those, like, let's be honest, all vaginas pretty much the same kind of vagina. I mean, you got dry vagina, you got super wet vagina, you got fat vagina, but at the end of the day, it still pretty much feels the same, right? Except the tightness or whatever. Now, that's the distinction we have. But for men, or for women experiencing sex, it's completely different. You got men that are 8 inches long. You got men that are 12 inches long. You got men that are 2 inches long. You got men that are in shape, out of shape, mid shape. You got, so that affects his performance in bed, his thrusting power, how long he can go. You got men that are really good at fellatio. You know, you got, it's cunnilingus. Sorry, fellatio's for men. And so, like, it's just, it's so much. And not to mention, as a woman, you're emotionally getting invested. And this is, you know, I'm not even going to get into this. This is for another time. But should men accept a woman's high body count? Yes and no. It depends on the situation. He can accept it. It's not that he should. He shouldn't. He could do what he wants to do. But it depends on the position that you're trying to get. If you want to be just a fuck buddy, whatever, you know. I'm not saying that you can't land a husband. It's just that it's, you know, it just, you're going to attract a different type of person. You're going to attract and if you do get the type of person that's like loyal and shit like that, you're going to think he's a square. You didn't have sex with so many guys that are doing all sorts of things, and you know, can you really be satisfied with that? And if you can, speak up. And if you can too, I'm so happy for you. But the average person, average man, we facilitate and we group women based off their body count. It's just a fact. Some do, some don't. And the ones that don't are the ones that are out here just fucking and slanging anyways. Or they've already had 50, 60, 70, 80 bodies. Pick your poison.
Men are entitled to how they perceive information, right? So,
but it's important.
I'm not saying it's unimportant.
Okay.
I'm saying that is what women are basing it.
Increase their standing in the dating marketplace.
Agreed.
Studies will show that the more bodies that you have, the less likely that your marriage will be successful. The more bodies prior to the marriage.
You see that? You see the way that she looked right there? She may be married, but she's probably somebody who has had or she has friends that she's trying to go in defense for. She's probably been around the gamut, you guys. There's nothing wrong with it. She got married, good for fucking her. Seriously. But look at the reactions, you guys. This is important stuff, you guys. It does have an effect on it. It affects your ability to pair bond.
But again, we know that data is skewed because people will lie.
It could be a multi-factor. It could be other things within that, and correlation never equals causation. Mm-hmm. But the studies were done,
and they said the more bodies you have,
they linked the body count to the and they did it over a sample size. They linked the body count to the chance of divorce. And there's also a term called pair bonding. And that term, in essence, and I'm paraphrasing because I'm not an expert on this shit, besides just having a YouTube channel. But the idea is that so when you gave your virginity,
and so this is the reason. This is where people like me, micro influencers, come into point. You guys, we are a little bit more like precise on this shit. So pair bonding. We'll get into that after he gets done talking.
Away to whatever young man.
I don't use away. I didn't give anything away.
When you lost your virginity.
I didn't. Okay.
When you became unvirgin.
Okay, I'll do
The first time your viscous innards were plundered.
Combative.
Okay. When that happened, you more than likely formed a strong and concrete bond with that person.
I did not.
Oh. Generally, on average, most women will.
And she's an example. What I say, you guys, you can have a woman can. She just had sex with a dude. She just wanted to have sex with him. This is the type, like, everything that I was saying prior to this point is showing up. It's showing up because she's the type of woman. Her body language, you guys. This is the body language of a woman who has experience, lots of experience in the bedroom. Do I think she's a hoe? I think she was hoe-ish, but the term hoe, it really differs from person to person. I could tell you what I think a hoe is. Not right now, though.
Strong and concrete bond with the first person, and then the subsequent bonds after that will decrease by some factor.
Where are we getting this from?
This is experiences and field studies of over 35 years of living.
In your life. Where are we getting this from? It's like, how many versions? You're like, they're still on my phone.
So are you telling me that women in general, in mass, in aggregate, on
I didn't know he was 35, you guys. I thought he was my age. Sorry about that.
average, are not more connected to the first man that they had sex with?
No.
They're not, because they
first.
have more sex. Because women are much more promiscuous these days. They are. This is the facts, you guys. He's 35. She's probably in her 30s now. And I'm 26. I'm 26. Just turned 26, you guys. And like, this has been the truth forever. Women have been so much more promiscuous than guys. So much more. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 18. Me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys, you know, man. Let's just go.
And I think it depends. You heard it here first. From Evelyn's buddy. On 29 years of research. And
First time I've ever heard that.
Listen, nobody. I am a woman who has female friends. Nobody's like, man, but that one time I lost my virginity, like, yeah, like, can't wait to go back. I still like.
But not the one time. The person. The human being.
Yeah, they're not like, oh,
So, mediocre to story reviews. I know I keep buttoning it out, you guys, but this is so important because this is misinformation out here, you guys. We want to go try to align this shit. So, what MTR was trying to say is the imprint. It's the imprint, not the person that you have virginity with. The person who imprinted you. That's the person that you think about a lot, not the person you have virginity with. A lot of times, your first experience just wasn't pleasurable per se. Especially if you didn't hold it in high regards, it just wasn't that special, right? And women have a very high abundance. They could, like, women look at men like groceries. They pick and choose what they want. This one isn't ripe. This one is ripe. This one looks nice. You know what? I plan on having guacamole 3 days in a row. So let me get 5 of these avocados. Yeah. Let me get, and you know what? I do also want a little bit of I want some liquor on the side too. So let me get this bad boy tequila 2020. Yeah, let me also put that in the bag too. I'll drink that on the weekend. Men are like produce to women, so of course she's not gonna think like that, you guys. The average woman looks at men as produce. They have options, right? They have many men trying to get them. So of course they're not going to think about their exes. Of course they're not going to be thinking about these other guys that they've been with, because they're looking forward. There's nothing wrong with it. Just reality, right? Come on.
I feel so much more connected to him than any of my future sexual partners. Like, no. Nobody is saying that.
Did they lose their virginity to someone that they were vastly interested in, or they just lose it to lose it?
I will say typically people do, because you want to feel comfortable in that space, but we won't get into other, but typically you lose it to somebody. I don't like using loose. Typically, you engage in your first time with somebody who you care about. Mm-hmm. But you're young. That's why I said it depends on what age that you engage.
And this is exactly what Kevin Simmons was talking about. Women use they use "I'm young" as an excuse for everything. I was young.
Age in your first sexual encounter, and it depends on how you view sexual encounters.
So listen, okay, I concede the point if that's your truth. Okay, I concede the point. And
have you talked?
No, I'm speaking to you. Like, and you're telling me.
But I'm saying, like, I'm curious. In your circle of
I've dealt with women in that age range, and they seem to get ridiculously emotional regarding the man who they lost their virginity to. Yeah. During in that age range, and I'm thinking of it, and I think the subsequent sexual experiences after that have been way less emotionally invested and involved. And then you get to a point where women can have unemotional sex with people and just carry on. And and to a degree, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying be whoever you are, amount to what it is that you want to amount to, do what you want.
He's just all over the place with what he was saying. That's why he cut it off, you guys. He's all over the place. What he's trying to point out is the fact of the imprint, not the virginity, not the person that they lost the virginity to. And this goes for men too. A lot of men, some men, I mean, I'm included in this factor that I don't really care or even remember the person we had I lost my virginity to. You know, it's like it's just one of those things. But the imprint, the person you fell in love with, that is a different story, you guys. I think that's what he's trying to get at.
The T is, men don't really value a virgin.
Talk to me.
Because, again, if we want to talk about relationships and somebody...
Depends on what culture you're in.
That you are doing for the rest of your life, you don't want to be that girl.
Wait a minute. I think this is a common... So I just went over something you think it was a common misconception for women. Let's go over something that's a common misconception for men. Men, we don't care what you didn't know before you met us. But what you did or you didn't know.
That's why you're asking about body count.
No. Men care if you are for the night. Men don't care if we want to take you to the promised land and back.
Facts. What he's trying to say is we care about what you did in your sexual experiences and your sexual history, but your lack of sexual experience and sexual history actually favors for you. It's more in your favor. You're more of a commodity. You're rare. Think about it. What causes rarity? Scarcity. The fact that this type of thing is not available or it costs a lot of money, it has value to it. It has prestige to it. A woman with a lower body count is rare. It is rare. Now, what's a lower body count? Shit, in these day and age, I dare say less than 10, right? That's a lower body count. A low body count? Man, lower than 5. 5, you're almost a fucking unicorn. Less than 3 or about at 3, where you at? Sign me up right now. I'm gonna buy you some AirPods. I'm gonna buy you some whatever I got I can afford, I'm gonna give it to you. You know? And you got a good conversation and you're pretty. What? That shit is rare. It does come with its cons, you guys. It does come with its cons. I'll get into that in a little bit, but the thing is that you can teach a woman things. You can teach a woman everything. You can teach a woman how to do certain shit, right? You can teach a woman how to please you if she wants to be taught, right? If she wants to be taught. But it's so much better for a man to have to teach a woman than for her to already coming in knowing how to do XYZ. It's like, damn, how many times have you done this shit? You know? You know, you already pulling out the ice cubes and hot water, and then you got a papaya in the background. Like, what the fuck? What have you done? Shit. Yeah, it's intimidating. It's intimidating, and it's just a little nasty. It's a little nasty.
In case, we will teach you everything that you need to know.
Assuming that you know what to teach us, because you don't.
Right there, exactly. So she just said it. Assuming that you teach us what we want to know. Meaning, men with experience have value. She just proved the point. She just proved the point. This is the difference between men and women, you guys. Women, the ideal woman, especially when it comes to marriage or even just dating in general, lower body count, the better. Men, higher body count, higher experience, the better. She just proved it. Look at her face right there, you guys. She's like, I just threw that at you. Now, what are you going to say to that? Yup, I just threw that at you. If you have something to teach, meaning that I need you to have something to teach. You need to know how to work this pussy. You need to know how to work the clit. You need to know how to lick it. You need to know how to dig me out. You need to know how to do all these things. And then I'll me having my 2 body counts, I'll be ready to listen. Or if I have these 10 body counts, I'll be willing to listen. You want to do some 50 Shades of Grey shit? Right? God.
What? Why would a man not know what he finds desirable?
No, you can know that. Okay. I'm saying you can know that. Mm-hmm. But you don't know what else I can show you.
So you're saying you don't know what else that you can show me because you've learned what else you can show me elsewhere?
Yeah, or exploring your own body.
Facts.
Or through other people, yeah. Men
don't care.
Well,
and that's the thing. And that's why we got to have these conversations, because men in general don't care. In general, we could teach you all the things that you need to know, and we can explore it together, and we can form a bond together in knowing how to within each other.
Yeah, but
because we're bonded.
She's in defense for having a higher body count. She wants women to have a higher body count and have higher and more sexual experiences. Modern woman, you guys. I'd be surprised. I would not be surprised if 10 years down the road her marriage is dissolved. I would not. And it's not because of the stuff she's saying. It's because of what all this adds up to. You guys, think of like fat people, right? Having one day of eating a whole Domino's pizza, 3 bowls of cookies and cream ice cream, the big chocolate chip cookies from Kroger's, doing that one day is not gonna make you fat. Being consistent with that shit, doing it for months, that's gonna make you fat. And you know what else is gonna happen? It's gonna be harder for you to walk. It's gonna be harder for you to breathe. It's gonna be harder for you to do. You're gonna feel heavier. Your brain's gonna be a lot hazier. There's all these side effects that come with just this for eating. Just eating some meals affects the way you think. Why is it so weird to think that having lots of sexual experiences affects other ways that you act and that you are? Come on. She's in defense for it.
Correct. But what if that person doesn't have the capacity to meet you where you feel fulfilled?
Well, that has nothing to do with her messing with Jerome a month ago. That's got nothing to do with it. If she don't have the capacity, she don't have the capacity. But maybe we can have communication and talk about how we can leverage her capacity or expand her capacity. That's a better word for it. How to expand her capacity. But because she was chilling with Tom, Dick, and Harry a year ago, right, and she knows a trick or two, doesn't necessarily raise her marriage value, her relationship value.
No, I agree. But when we get to the inner workings of what keeps that marriage going and keeps that man excited sexually, you want to be with that girl.
She once again is supporting having sexual experience. She's not getting the point that you can be trained. Women don't like this. They don't like this shit. They don't like hearing this shit, you guys. And it's really, it does have a weird saying to it, but it's like men and women, when you guys get together, you guys are having to intertwine with each other. You guys are having to be custom for each other. There's so many habits that you guys had before you guys met each other, and so many things that you got to do. You've got to intertwine yourself with each other. And the same thing is when it happens sexually. It's just the thing is that as a woman coming to the plate, knowing all these things, it doesn't necessarily add value. It's fun for the moment, but if you want to talk about deep and emotional connection when it comes to sex, you're going to definitely get more of that when you're both experiencing new things together. Facts. There's nothing to refute that. You're going to experience a much deeper bond, much deeper emotions when you're experiencing new sexual experiences with each other. As a man, the only thing that a woman, I would say, should come to the table with when it comes to sex is openness. That's it. That's really all you got to do. Just be open. I wouldn't want a virgin. Absolutely, I wouldn't want a virgin. She can and like ideally, she can have sex with another guy too. So maybe two bodies. I'll even add 3. But like, you know, I think the magic number is between 2 to 5. 4 and 5 are pushing it, but 2 to 5 bodies for a marriageable woman is ideal in my opinion. And what she all she has to bring sexually to the table is openness, willing to learn, and willingness to enthusiasm, right? Charisma. Bring that to the bedroom. If you bring all those things, that's all you gotta bring. You don't have to bring experience. You don't need to know how to do a fucking, you don't have to take the grapefruit, peel out the fucking middle of it and spin it. You don't have to go get some fucking Chick-fil-A sauce and put, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gotta, it's wild shit. That's wild.
Is aware of what sexually excites you.
Yes, but that awareness doesn't come from anywhere but me.
I don't think that's true. Because like there are certain things that you might not know you enjoy sexually that you haven't experienced before. And if you meet somebody who's experienced, they can offer you another sensation that you might not have felt otherwise.
I think that should be the woman's expectation on the man.
That should be the woman's expectation on the man. I think that should be the woman's expectation on the man, for the man to bring a new sensation. She just looks appalled at this. Like, what he said actually supported what she said. And just simply for the fact of like him saying the woman should have expectations or the woman should be held accountable. Like, look at her face. But anyways, I agree with her. I do agree with her, you guys. I think that it's, you do learn new things from different people, right? And one of the great things of this day and age is that we have the internet. So you damn near anything that you want to learn, you can learn on the internet. You actually don't have to do this with another person. You can learn everything sexually on the internet. So if you have somebody that you really want to try and open sexual things with, you can learn everything you see on the internet. You can see from other people on the internet how to do new things. You don't have to go get it from other people. Seriously. But she's in support of having high sexual experiences.
Men, what more for yourselves? What more for yourselves?
No, because...
you wonder why women are like starfishing and just laying there.
What the fuck she talking about? Woman starfishing? What the hell? No.
Never have, never will. What we value is the lowest body count possible, along with some other things.
Well, I'm saying experience.
We're willing to deal with the dead fish as long as you're willing and have the capacity to learn.
Okay, when I'm saying experience, I'm not saying that you get that experience through multiple people.
Yes,
I'm not saying that's the only way that you can do that. Because
you didn't say the only way, but
lots of people have been having trash sex for years now, and they don't even know they're having trash sex.
Kevin Samuels talked about this, how the average black woman, the modern black woman, has such an emphasis on sex these days.
Because that's just been the normal thing in their life. And people don't communicate with their sexual partners when they aren't pleased, especially women. Women don't do a good job of saying like, hey, like, because you don't want to hurt somebody.
Now, I will be in her defense and talk about this. Yes, a lot of women do have, and I've talked to many of women who are not fulfilled sexually in the bedroom. There's so many women who haven't even squirted, who haven't had an orgasm. And I remember I grew up hearing this. So I made it a fact for me to make sure that, call me beta or whatever, but I actually look to make sure that my woman gets an orgasm before I do. And the reason being is because from watching lots of porn, women have they can have continuous orgasm back to 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 back. Men, we can do it. I've done it. You know, I come 2, 3, 4, 5 times in the session sometimes. But the thing is that that like pleasure factor is so much higher for women than it is for men. So I've made it a priority to make sure my woman is pleased when we're having intercourse. I definitely do that, and I take pride in it. And it's something that I've done listening to what women have said. I've listened to what you women have talked about, and I'm making sure that I can deliver when it's necessary, right? So I do come to her defense in that. I do think men should know how to please their woman. Absolutely, in these days.
Somebody's feelings. So then he goes on to the next person, and it's just like bad being passed around.
Yeah.
And same thing, men don't need you to do much. Like if we think about like the act, like yes, can you get it done regardless of what her level of expertise is? Yes. But if you want that to be a fulfilling and like one of your favorite parts of your relationship, then yes, you do need to work on that. And I'm going to go a step further and say that a person that has more experiences, and that doesn't have to be with multiple partners, that could be with the same partner, like you had a long-term partner and you were able to explore that, are going to be better prepared to give you what you want in that realm.
One of the reasons why it's hard for men and women to have conversations, like intellectual conversations on this type of level, is that the majority of men and women think and communicate completely different. And this permeates throughout all races, all cultures, things like that. Women are much more emotional in speaking. They deal with their emotions and how they feel. Men, we deal with logic as well as how we feel. But shit has been completely twisted because of the modern family, and men are a lot more emotional as well. But we still have the capacity to think logically and think rationally. Women do, but still more emotional. I would say like 80-85% emotional. So what she's talking about is it's on the train track, but it's like not. I don't even know what the fuck she's talking about, to be honest. Like it doesn't really fit necessarily.
I'm not saying that that's the end all be all to be married. I'm not saying like, yeah, you got to go out and know everything about sex, and the more people you sleep with, the more informed you will be. Because again, you could have bad experience with multiple partners.
Yes.
But I don't think you should be like, hey, this girl, before she met me, this is what she did. So that means that she's damaged goods, or that she is worth less than a woman that did.
Now, these are words that have been told and that are labeled for women who have higher sexual experiences and things like that. And this also ties in with the fat narrative, right? Women don't want, it's all about body positivity. It's all about being positive. It's all about owning up to the things that you do. No accountability for that way that you act. The truth is that things that you do are judged in every way. So when they do say damaged goods, when they do say lesser than, there's a reason why that those words are associated with these types of acts, right? And the reason why is because, well, let's go back. It can affect pair bonding. It can affect expectations. It can affect you don't even know how it could affect you, right? men and women. You guys, like, lesser than damaged goods, the trauma from having all those sexual experiences. We don't think about these things, you guys.
Didn't have sex.
In a man's mind, the higher the body count, the less valuable.
But why is that?
Because men are conquerors. We're highly competitive.
No, bro. See, this is what I'm talking about. MTR, he misses the pocket. Oh my god. This high of an audience, man, you gotta hit the pocket with this shit, G. Why do men value lesser body counts? Because, right? Because women, we understand each other. We're men, right? Especially if you played a sport, we understand how we are. We understand how we get. We do put our energy into the shit that we do. We know how we have sex. And more often than not, more than likely, the next guy is having the sex the same way we are. We know what is happening in the bedroom. We know how you're getting tooken. We know you're getting fucking grabbed from the waist, rammed. We freaky, we nasty, right? And so the more men you're with, we know that you've done nasty shit. You nasty. And that's not a bad or a good thing. It just depends on the context. Do you want to be that wife, or do you just want to kind of be just have companionship, you know? Do you want that? Like, it depends on what you want. This is the reason why. We nasty. We know we're nasty. We want to do nasty shit to you. The more bodies you have, that means the more men had the opportunities to do some nasty shit to you. You've had lots of nasty shit done to you. That's nasty. It's the same way as a woman. I just saw this Instagram post. It's the same way as a woman who's bald or has little no hair, and she gets fucking 28-inch long weave or whatever, and it falls off, and it's like, well, what the fuck? Who are you? Or the makeup, the out, like it's all a facade. You play, especially if you want to lie about this shit. It just, your overall image is just, it's distorted. You know, you're like, you turn into the beast a little bit. You know, you were the beauty and then you were the beast. The beauty and the beast are the same person in this instant. You came outside looking like Belle, but then when you took off your suit, you turned into the beast. And this is the same thing visually that happens whenever a woman has a high sex count and wants to lie about it. You're the beauty in our eyes, and then once we find this shit out, you're the beast. Which is why a lot of women lie about it. They'll go to the grave with it. I've talked to women. They will go to the grave with these things.
What has already been conquered.
But couldn't you be competitive and saying like I was the one to bag her out of all of these people?
She's kind of got a point on that, and it's still in support of having high sexual experiences. But I'll do that. And the thing is yeah, we can do it. It's just that the juice is never really worth the squeeze. It's just not. A lot of guys that have wanted you, and if you let them have you, this is just it right there. I don't want it. I don't want it. And some guys will want you. And some guys that you want may want you like that. It's completely okay. It's completely okay. But this is a topic that has to be discussed, you guys. Like, it's important. A lot of men are actually talking about this shit. Women don't like it. And as a woman, if you are listening, like, this is something that should be told to other generations. It's not about control. It's not. It's about making yourself have the best opportunity to create the best life for yourself as possible. Look at whatever your age you are right now, wherever status you are with the relationship. Are you married? Did you want to be a home, like in a marriage where the husband makes, do you want these things? Is your life headed in that direction? Why isn't it? You don't know. Well, this is a part of it. This is a part. It's not the biggest part, but it's a good chunk of it. And this is all that we're saying. Like, especially Kevin Samuels, it's not that people hate women. We don't want to control women and shit. We just want the women we want. And we want women to experience to have a good life. We want men to have a good life. We all want a good fucking life. We want the things that we want. Now, this is a conversation that needs to be had that will be conducive to creating the results you want. Don't have a high body count if you can control it at this point.
There's a multitude of factors within that, right? Like if you live in the same geographical place as when the place where she was conquered, it is less likely that the man will be able to get over going into an establishment and seeing all the other dudes that are in the establishment that have done conquered that island. But you brought up a very good point I wanted to touch on real quick. Mm-hmm. It was within the idea of how does the said person know that they're not experiencing good intercourse? Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question. If you took a... Well, I'm thirsty. Look at the pinky.
Look at... I'm weak.
I'm bougie. Anyway, if you took a person from 18...
Bougie with the red cup. It doesn't go together. It doesn't go together.
It's my own style. Anyway, if you took a person from 1850 and you brought them into 2021... Well, how about this? If you took a person in 1850 and you asked them about their life, do you think that on average the person would say, I have an enjoyable life or not an enjoyable life?
If you ask white men at any point in time, they will have an enjoyable life.
Okay.
If you
took that same 1850 human and you brought them, or if you take a person in 2021 and you brought them to 1850, would you think that person would say, I now have an enjoyable life or not an enjoyable life?
Not an enjoyable life.
This is not a good example.
The analogy that I'm trying to wrap around here is sometimes it's okay not to know what you don't know, right? Us in 2021, we have enjoyable lives. But if we were raised in 3021, we'd look back at 2021 like these goddamn dirty Neanderthals. Look they walked places. Like they didn't just teleport like us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so I might really be feeling that.
I feel you.
But okay, my bad. I'll take it back. That was a decent example. That was a good example.
At the same time, I think the analogy still prevails in the sense that like it right, and I think that also speaks back to the study that I was talking about earlier. Because if your expectations for life are here, but you have experienced before in your life here, because of the Chads, Tyrones blew the black completely out, but now you're expecting to blow the black out from someone who you want to marry somehow. I think that the prior expectations might reign negatively on this unnatural bond of marriage that goes to the rest of someone's life. Because now you're telling somebody, you got the guts sufficiently dug out by these 6'2", 6-pack, 6 this, 6 that human being. But now you're settling, or you're more appropriately establishing your value for Jacob over here. And Jacob may not have the experience and or the accolades of the backbreakers that you've experienced before.
She's smiling because the accolades. That's a very poignant part right there. Let's go back to this part real quick, you guys. You know I love micro expressions and body language. Look at this.
And or the accolades of the back.
Okay. You saw that little smirk, that little smile right there, you guys? Accolades was an interesting term and word to put into this conversation right here. And what is he talking about when it comes to sexual accolades? The types of women that man has had sex with and how many. Those are accolades. And even women, she understood what he was saying. Men respect men who have had, certain sex with certain women and with a number of women. Women do the same as well, but they will not admit it. But her body language did. Your body language, we use our body language to that's what, like 85% of our language is used non-verbally. The way that we communicate is non-verbal. 85% of it, some shit like that. That smirk just did that right there, you guys. Yeah, I could be thinking too deep into it, you guys, but him saying accolades, just listening to it, fired something in your head too. Because it's funny. It's a funny way to describe something that we all know exists.
And or the accolades of the backbreakers that you've experienced before, the hip rearrangers that you've experienced before in your life, but you like them and you're thinking about eloping with them. And I think that when you change people's expectations on reality, they go forward in life and they expect those realities.
Yeah. So I think it depends on what's important to you, right? So stand on what is important to you in a partnership. So
low body count, it's important to me.
Okay, then you stand on that.
MTR finally hit the pocket.
But again, you just have to like rewire your mind. It's like, is low body count important to me because I feel like that literally tells me that this woman is worth less, or is it because of my mind and my ego, my conqueror mindset that it's like I would just feel better knowing that really it's mainly just me that has been with her. To your point, you don't know what you don't know. So why are you asking those questions? Like, yes, you want to make sure that you're safe, right? That you can have those questions like, when was the last time you've been tested? All these things so that you're moving forward in a safe capacity. But why do you even need to know my body count?
She's advocating for hiding your body count, for not talking about it. She would lie to you about your body count. She has a high body count. She knows that her body count, her true number, if she were to tell it, men would be disgusted and appalled by it. This is everything that she's saying, and it is exactly what I'm saying right now. She supports it. She wants to hide it. She doesn't think that it should matter. And since it does matter to guys, she thinks it shouldn't, but it does. And since it does matter, she advocates for hiding and lying and misconstruing the truth, omitting the truth, and not being straightforward with it.
And you feeling me? Like, it doesn't matter.
I'm not saying that you need to know, but I'm saying is that you could tell from how they carry themselves on occasion. I mean, sometimes they can completely hide it, like without
which
a doubt.
I already said she doesn't like that.
Is, by the way,
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how can you literally tell? Because some women, based on like
no, I agree with you.
Some people
they switch up,
and some people you think are like super promiscuous, and it's not them. And then the people that you think are the virgins
are not the church girls.
So
yes, I agree with you.
You can assume, right? But
if you live in the same block in the same area, the same geographic, then you absolutely know.
There's whole facts, but that's different.
Exactly.
That's different.
As a man, you guys, you need to dig. You need to vet. You need to find the information from your girl, especially if you want to take her seriously, you guys. You have to access information. It is not imperative. Don't listen to these women. Don't listen to anybody telling you that you should not ask a woman her body count. You have the right to know. You deserve to know, right? And if she doesn't want to tell you, or if you feel like it's not being trustworthy, then treat her accordingly. And as a woman, don't hide. Be honest about it. Be completely honest about it. You'd be surprised at what the response that you get from men. You'd be surprised. Just be honest about it. When you lie and when you try to hide shit, that opens up the door for the devil. That opens up the door for other deceptions and other shit to come about. Because if you were to just be honest and straightforward and tell them like, yeah, 50 guys, you know, that'll hurt his feelings for the moment, right? But, you know, that gives him the option to be able to choose whether, like, how to take you seriously or not, right? And it's like, if you guys were together for a long time and you just dropping it on him, man, you're gonna need a little bit more than some, I don't know, but just be honest about it, you guys. Don't hide it. And as a man, ask. If you want to take her seriously, ask. If you just fucking and shit, it don't matter. You know, don't ask a shit. You know, it really don't matter. But if you want to take it seriously, you need to ask, man. Don't let any woman, and don't even let any man tell you not to think otherwise. If you think it's important, it's important. And it is important.
Different, but then we're talking about optics. Because I can have a high body count. And if I was discreet and discerning with who I decided to do that with, the world would never know.
I agree with you. So, which is why...
Take it to the grave. This woman, bro.
Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what the...
Everything that I have said, this woman has spoken for herself and made my words stand firm, you guys. Everything that I have said. There you go. She would take it to the grave. She's imagining, looking up she's imagining, looking and thinking about all the men she's been with and all the lies that she's told. You know why? When you looking up in, man, I'm not even gonna get into it.
Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Feel free to hit me up. I got a Instagram. Feel free to go up there and send me content, okay? And as well as I have a Patreon. All right, the Patreon is fantastic. Till next time, YouTube.
I like the editing, man. Good. It's not a bad video. Not a bad video. He's not bad, you guys. But as far as everything that happened in this video when we were talking about, you guys, yeah, man. I know it was a long video, you guys, but it was a good topic. It was a really good topic, and I hope you guys took something from it. So with that being said, you guys, I'm probably gonna chop this up a little bit. I'm gonna send the whole video, but I'm gonna chop it up a little bit, you guys. But yeah, there you go. Like, comment, subscribe. What you guys think about it? Talk to y'all later.